What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to JK's Just a Podcast, your hump day helper. Grab your headphones, because this is definitely not safe for work. What's up, guys? Welcome back. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Welcome back, Rebecca, our resident
Thank you.
female specialist.
Happy belated birthday on a side note.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
give you your gift later.
Thanks, man.
On camera? On camera.
We should do it
On camera. Oh, shit. Yep, there's the beep.
There it is.
And begin.
Okay. What do we want to talk about today? This has been a tough one. It's been hard to gather things.
Oh, really? I have some things to ask.
Okay.
I put some thoughts together.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Listening to another podcast and
Fucking rude. First of all.
yeah. Well, and they mentioned something about like mind games and having to always play a mind game when you're like before a relationship, in a relationship, before, during, after.
I hate that shit. That seems like I know what you're saying. Everything's like you have to portray something different than what's actually going through your head.
Mm-hmm.
And that drives me nuts. Like, I hate doing that. I don't play it. Like, I'm super upfront and like pretty frank about everything.
What if someone's playing a game with you?
I don't know, because it's hard to, like, sometimes you don't know. I mean, most times you don't. Are you doing okay over there? Are you hosting your own show over there with somebody else?
So I'm having a 2 Chainz trap nap.
You're facing, I don't know if the camera can like catch it, but you're facing the other direction.
I got my own guests over here. Let me just pan to another camera.
Excuse me, sir. We are over here. Good God. But no, yeah, that shit drives me. I know for a fact it happens. Because I think everyone's guilty of it, whether they know it or not. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone, like, growing up, everyone's always like, yeah, you can't, like, show your hand too soon. Otherwise, it'll kind of screw it up. And you're like, I don't know. And then I think you play into that more, like, as a teenager. Mm-hmm. When all that teen angst kind of comes into play.
Teen angst.
But I think, like, the older you get, the less you just play into it. And the more you're just like, this is how it is. I'm going to put it on the table. Like, this is what I'm looking for, and like this and that, and what in the third and whatever.
Yeah, hopefully you get like that, but
if it doesn't work out, then I don't know.
We all been played in high school. Like, I got played so much that I became good at mind games.
You're being played now.
Well, I was gonna say to you, I was gonna make a comment directly at you that you're losing the mind game.
Or is she? See, this is the problem with mind games. Nobody ever knows. You never know.
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting topic. Because I feel like these girls are
the worst at it.
like in and around our age. So like to hear that conversation, I was like, huh? Mm-hmm. Playing mind games? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Around our age, you're like, you're fucking adult. What kind of, like, stop doing that. Just like, I don't know, be upfront.
Have you guys seen that new Coffee Crisp commercial?
Oh, what?
You know the one?
No.
It's on this topic. It's like Jan had always dreamed about eating a Coffee Crisp while her partner talks about their relationship, and he's just sitting there like, listen, Jan, I just feel like you're not passionate in bed anymore. And she just like, and she just like doesn't give a fuck. Just like, He's like spilling his guts to her. She's just like, okay. I loved that commercial for everything.
I haven't seen it. I don't watch a lot of TV. So I didn't know you watched a lot of TV. Enough to see a commercial.
Yeah, man.
But no, yeah, I don't know. That's just, stop playing mind games with people. It's so juvenile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not about getting the last word. What else you want?
See, I still believe in getting the last word. So
if I can come in here and kind of get the last word on this, nah. Sometimes you just got to know when to hold them.
Yeah.
Know when to fold them.
That's true, I guess.
Know when to walk away and know when to run.
All right, me segueing into having the last word here.
If I could just take a moment to...
Son of a bitch. It's the interrupting thing all over again. What other relationship-y things we want to talk about here? What did I try and put together? I asked Keith this last week or the week before. What? Okay, so because I feel like a girl would have more of a reaction to this than a guy. But I asked you, like, at what point is too much flirting, like with your significant other, like from somebody else, like in a social setting?
Oh, if like someone were flirting with
Yeah.
him or someone flirting with
So
me.
I asked him, like, if a guy was flirting with you, and like if we were out at some party or whatever, and there's a point, and like, what point is that too much where you're like, as a boyfriend or a girlfriend, in your case, would like step in and be like, okay, should probably like make my presence known here.
See, personally, I run a little more on the jealous side.
Okay.
So anyone talking to him, I'm like, huh? Are you lost? No, but I mean, yeah. So I would have a bit more of a reaction. I probably would be like salty, so salty.
You just like really shove yourself into the conversation.
I don't think I would insert myself. I just would have a conversation with him later.
Oh, so he would get in trouble. That doesn't seem fair.
And from perspective, like if she is talking to somebody and you're kind of like, I'm more kind of the guy mind their own business, but also observe. Depends on how much, that partner leads the other person on to like accept the flirting. It's like, oh, this is going both ways. And you're like, well, I'm getting played. Let's just fucking... Well, it looks like it's not going well.
Yeah, like it very well could be a one-sided conversation where like the one person's like really trying to flirt, and like
you're just like,
and either one of you is just like, okay, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
But
so happy for you.
If it suggests otherwise, then you're like,
Yeah,
all right, I'm getting played, and
Yeah.
then you take action.
yeah, but it like because you said you're like and we kind of landed on the answer that it definitely depends on like the kind of relationship you have. If you have that or if you're just two kind of people with the personality where it's like you're fine, like it's really built on trust, and like you're like, oh, that's fine, like you can talk to whoever if we're out, like if someone walks up to you, I'm not gonna like
I think
have a wave of jealousy spill over me.
For me now, I'd be a little more secure with it all.
Definitely like right off the
Take
jump.
it back
Yeah.
a few months ago, on the other hand.
Yeah, right off the jump of a relationship, obviously, yeah, because you're still kind of wading in shallow waters.
Are we? Wading in shallow waters?
I wouldn't say anymore, no. But getting to, like this point in a relationship, of course not.
Yeah.
But in the beginning stages, yeah, of course. Because there might not be things you know, but we digging a hole here.
Uncomfortable Keith.
I love uncomfortable Keith.
I don't know what to say. I don't read into it just like you guys just did. I just go with the flow, man.
Yeah, no. I don't mind.
Yeah.
People can talk to, if I had a girlfriend, people could talk to her all they want. Because it's like, I'm fully aware that she's my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but it depends on the kind of relationship you have.
True.
Because with a different girl, it could be a totally different story.
Mm-hmm.
So you just never know.
I don't know, man. Nobody's possession.
No, of course
They're
not.
their own person.
Of course not.
They don't.
Not implying that, but you know what I mean. I hope. Probably not.
But I am her boyfriend, and my leash is that big.
The irony with the fact that there's so much distance between you, but the leash is so tight.
I wouldn't say it's
No, it's
so
not.
tight.
Like if we go out for food, you and I, and it's like somewhat a distance away, I can like feel you get to a point where you're like like a dog running away from its owner, just
God, you're being painted in the worst light.
No, we have to take our chances to roast you any chance we get.
Roasted.
it's like, and the leash will snap you like, I'm not your dog, see you later.
It's one of those ones where it starts ratcheting, and it comes to a grinding halt.
Yeah, she'll hit the button on the retractable
If
leash.
we're still using that metaphor, like the leash metaphor, you've like slipped out of it, like
The old
handcuffs at this
ball and
point.
chain.
it's like a pair of dollar store handcuffs.
I'll be like, "How's the leash?" She's like, "Oh, it's great." It's like not even on.
She's just it's hanging out of her purse, just like.
What else we got?
What's your ideal first date? Let's do that. Because some people like to go all out, and some people are pretty minimal.
You know?
You're pretty minimal, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say don't start way too high. Because
I overthought the shit out of
those
mine.
standards you're setting are like, oh, he always does this, and then we did this, and you're gonna burn up all the ideas you ever had in like 1 or 2 dates. So
I don't know if I have like an ideal first date, like a place, or just like the interaction. I think would be ideal.
We can narrow it down to like categories, I guess. So it's like, okay, you got dinner, you got some sort of activity, maybe a show or a movie. Let's say a movie because that's more.
Movies like that awkward situation where you're like your hands out.
Yeah, movie's tough because you're
waiting
like
for like someone to like grab onto your hand. And it's like,
movies a no for a first date.
I
agree.
would throw a movie a no just because that there's a point where I'm not even paying attention to the movie. I'm sitting there thinking, should I move my hand over or should I not? When's a good time to move my hand over?
Should I be talking to her, like trying to impress her, or does she want to fucking watch the movie?
Yeah.
What about like inviting your date to like a friend's birthday?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
For a first one? Could you imagine?
Or like if she were already out, like inviting her to join you.
See, that's go.
No, whatever. You finish what
I
you're
was
going to say.
I feel like that's a pity invite. If you're like, well,
But
I'm
like
already out with my friends. If I see you, oh, so cool. Come to Portside.
If you word it like that, yeah, it's kind of shitty.
That's
awful.
how I read it, and I'm just like, yeah, it's pity. They are gonna have fun
Come to
regardless of your
Portside.
presence.
But because what I was gonna say, it was like that was basically like the formula we used. I would say 5 years ago. Sorry, we had a recording break there. So yeah, the formula we used like 5 years ago was just basically dampening awkwardness with a social setting, not in the weird way like you said it, because that was weird. But like, hey, we're having friends over. Like, come over. You can bring like friends or whatever, that type of thing, as opposed to the solo awkward first date, like typical first date experience.
First date. No, like I think our first date was a good one. There's some conflicting memories.
So before the audio cut out, we had a bit of a
Debate.
a debate of
On our first date.
Your guys' first date. You kind of describe how that went. Basically, you picked her up from the ferries, went to Rat Rock, did the whole datey thing, yada yada yada, whatever. But who planted one on who first?
Her.
Is this guy?
You can see the debate we're going through here.
She.
No, I wasn't.
I just try. How like rom-com-y is that though?
I guess
For
it
her
is,
to like
yeah.
walk up to you and just be like, and you're like, ah, hi. She's like, no. And
That's
then,
literally what I remember is her going right in and like grabbing my face and.
What world are you living
slobbing
in?
you down in the ferry parking
Okay,
lot?
let's we can agree to disagree on that,
Yeah.
but you must agree with me that
There was a kiss.
there was no. I get that. You will agree to me that you instigated whatever else happened after the date.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. I know
I mean,
that
that's
was me.
fine.
But like I said, like better to find out now than later.
True. I mean, kind of, I guess. So,
Wow. Just if that hadn't gone the way you'd wanted it to, I would.
we couldn't have been sitting here right now. We might not be sitting
I'd be
here.
being used, and I told you we were gonna have a fight.
We've been fighting.
Oh man! So clearly, you're biased to the sex on the first date type thing.
I don't fuck with that.
Not
Okay.
her face just went from like.
I mean,
I did it, but I
honestly,
don't
you can't,
like it.
You can't be you can't.
I did it, but I didn't like it.
You liked it, but you didn't like the idea of it.
Right.
There you go.
The morality.
Like I was enjoying it, but I'm like I'm still morally so.
I
against
want to
it.
just get
okay,
to know
so
her.
hold on. I get it. You wanted to get to know me and my stunning personality, but the thing is, I was coming off a ferry anyway. So like, when
Yeah, man.
was
That gets your hormones
Hot and bothered.
going.
Stop.
All that wet water.
When was I going to be coming back and seeing you again? That was
Right.
So you had to make
You had a
the possible
checklist.
like it never could. There couldn't have been a second time, so you had to make the first time worth it.
Thank you for opening my eyes to that possibility. I was not thinking that way.
Do you see what I mean, though?
Correct. That is what I was just saying.
Oh, fuck.
I now see your perspective as to why you had such an agenda.
Ah.
Are you okay?
How many first dates have you actually been on?
Her
think-
first.
And I'm going to ask you next, too. Same thing.
Okay.
I think I've only had like 3.
Were they all equally as uncomfortable?
Well, the very first date I had, I was, I think, 14 when I had my
Ah.
first boyfriend, and we went to the movies. So
That's cute.
That
it
is
was
so cute.
That's
Is that-
cute as teenagers.
as
It's a shame you guys didn't make it.
yeah, it was the longest 8 years of my life.
Whoa. They really tried.
Anywho,
Her other boyfriend's cool, though.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
He's nice.
and then my other one, I actually don't even remember it. Like, yeah, I just like don't recall.
Just write it off, and then there was us.
And then there was us. Like, I honestly don't remember it, but yeah,
Pretty minimal relationship history, then.
Okay, I'll say our first date was good.
let's call it minimal. Yeah.
Yeah. Our first date was good.
Relationship is.
And we were on the topic of activities to do on the first date. I was on one Tinder date, and the agreed upon plan was to meet at a neutral location, kind of equal distances from each other's places, at a bar. And the idea was to sit at the bar.
Like nighttime.
Yeah. It was a nighttime date. We were going to meet each other.
Really, bro?
Sorry if that's me.
It was.
We were going to meet at the bar, which, in hindsight, was a good idea because if maybe the conversation had gone south, what do bartenders kind of like to do is chime in on people, and they're usually a pretty good conversation leader when maybe the night is slow, like it's a Tuesday and there's 2 people at the bar, you got nothing else to say, be like, oh well, you guys been doing blah blah blah, or
But I feel like even for you, you wouldn't have that problem not generating a conversation. So,
but it is pretty fucking hard
of a
sometimes when you're like talking to yourself, right?
Yeah.
that I think
100%.
that first date is definitely bold. Like if you said daytime or nighttime?
No, it was nighttime, and we'd never like even like met or talked on the phone in person. It was the first time
just
seeing.
text?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Huh.
Oh.
And that
Very
one,
similar to my scenario.
I recall I didn't even hug them. I just kind of like
Sat down.
I was just like, hey, and then she was standing in front of the place, and I just grabbed the door for her and like I was like, oh, here we are.
Oh,
Sat
that's
down
nice.
and I was like, what do you like to drink? Blah blah blah. So yeah,
Wow. So interesting.
it was a terrible time.
Awful.
Long term, the worst.
Rebecca, did he open the car door for you when you first met?
I think I did.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have remembered all that country ass shit.
Yeah.
Wash your car, open the door.
Yeah, I made my car spotless.
I'm wearing the same shirt that I first met. This one. This gray one.
This one.
V-neck.
this one.
Interesting.
Pocket.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. You're grinding my gears. You knew you kissed me first.
No, I remember being shocked because you planted one on me, and I was like, oh, I was just going for a hug, but sure.
Shocked, but also into it, or
Maybe we
not?
just like accidentally like couldn't. Like
It was one of those ones where you hug, but your faces look the same way, and you touch cheeks, and you're just like,
just gonna turn into a
might as well just.
Ew. You probably couldn't see that because it was behind the mic, but that pucker was huge.
Have you? But you've encountered that before, where you're like hugging someone, and your faces go the same way, and you're touching cheeks.
Yes.
And you're just like, this is the worst.
That's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had that off. This is a weird transition because this is with like, so we went out to this fundraiser thing, and I ended up running into this guy that I knew, and you were there, so you know this story. But it was like the bro hug that you go in for that we've talked about before, but it went so wrong, like so wrong. I went for the bro hug, or like first I went to shake his hand, and he goes, no, dude, no handshakes. I'm like hugs. I'm like, okay,
Dude.
So I went in
I'm
for
a
like
hugger.
I went in for like the one and the bro hug thing, the little dap up.
Oh, dude, we're bringing it back to episode 4 on this.
Yeah, whoa, OG episode.
Whoa. Okay.
I have another thing on that one as well. But then he goes double arm over hug. Like he looks like a little, like he's hugging like a girl. And he goes double arm over. So here's me.
You're going under,
the
and he's
really
going over?
emasculated double arm under hug. Like I'm like, hi, hey man. I was like, what the fuck?
That's like a very confident man to just be like, no, me, a hugger.
Like for real.
He's
and like
a
I'm
hugger.
not the best of friends with this guy. I just know him. I just haven't seen him in a while. But it's not like I'm not reunited with like a long distance like lover. Like and I was like I was stuck there in front of a crowd of people, double underarm hugging this guy.
I always hug some of my friends like that because I know I never see them, and it's always like, yeah, it's you, hey man.
But it's just like there's a standard one arm, like one over, one under type thing.
Yeah.
You don't go like, you don't hit me with a wrap around the neck.
Certain people.
So I have to just go around your man hips. That's weird.
Your man bod.
It's gay. It's gay.
It's gay.
Yikes.
I'm saying it's gay like fucking a guy. That's how gay it is.
Your battery's going to die.
It's all right. Everyone's a little gay sometimes. Go off.
Go off, sis?
Okay, what
maybe
else?
we can, hold on. Whoop. That was another thing. I keep getting a bunch of comments, people saying we're on our phones too much. You don't fucking know, because usually a podcast is not video. So chances are those people doing those podcasts are also on their phones. You just can't fucking see it.
Well, there's also like things that you're looking
It's
at, like topics.
Everything we have to talk about is on our phones.
That's
That's
true.
why we're on our phones.
We have an agenda.
We're not texting each other or other people while we're doing this.
Definitely. texting
Everything
each
we're
other.
talking about is on our phones for the most part. If we had the time and the space and the people to do it, we would script it, but we just don't. So it's all pretty off the cuff, just with talking points that we have written down.
What you see is what you get.
And our memory sucks. Our memory is terrible,
Yes.
like so bad. Anyways, moving on. This was something that someone brought up. Fuck. Happy Tuesday.
Okay, go.
Does the guy's ability to run game make him more attractive? So if he came up to you and was started like spitting some game to you,
Like
and whatever.
What is spitting game?
I guess just flirting with you,
Like this.
so like trying to run some lines on you.
Like, hey, did it hurt?
When?
Well, you fell
What?
from the vending machine because you was snack.
Oh, I love that one though.
I
use that, by the way.
So did it go well?
Yeah, well, loved it.
All right.
But like that type of thing. So it's like a guy can walk up to you and be like a super confident, suave dude versus some guy who's the complete polar opposite of that. Mm-hmm. Maybe the same appearance, but one with zero confidence.
I feel like a bit of confidence with a bit of humility is like the perfect combination.
Yeah.
I agree. That's probably ideal. But you could also be attracted to something completely superficial about the person. It doesn't matter if this guy has the worst stutter you've ever heard, but he's got a huge chest. And you're just like,
See, the thing about the chest
Yeah.
is it just does nothing for me.
But what if let's...
Okay.
If he were like a total babe but had a stutter, I'd be like, I'm willing to put in the work.
That's a lot of extra time you're
I'm
willing to give up.
get all over him.
Okay, is there anything physical about a guy? Like, okay, because I had this. It's like, do girls check out guys as well? In parentheses, sweatpants, dick print.
Oh, I just like don't care for that. If you're out wearing gray sweatpants in public,
Just free.
Yeah, you're also not getting
bigger
into any-
problem. There's a bigger problem there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anyone with the balls to wear sweatpants out in public.
I mean, I think it's all like normal for people to check out other people. Like, you don't just like look at this one person and be like, oh my God, that's it.
Wow,
This
he's
is
got,
it for me.
he's got great side dick.
Nothing to
It's
do
like
with that.
The guy,
We're just
guy
missing the
version of
fact that
cleavage.
she's saying that looking at me doesn't do anything for her. So
Jesus.
that's flattering. Thanks.
Means you have a great personality.
Nah.
He's really funny.
Nah, you're also
really
missing
Yeah,
the
let's
point.
just like make some Disney movies 2019. This is sleeping good personality.
Before we wrap it up, fuck.
Wrapping it
On the
up.
topic, no. So on the topic
Sir.
of my birthday, your birthday message to me was hella funny, dude.
Did the text? I don't remember what I said.
No, not the text. Just in the group chat.
Oh.
You're like, yo, HPD, dude, but today's Jesus' day, so take a seat.
Happened to be on Easter, so
Back of the bus.
bigger powers were at work that day.
100%.
What do you mean wrapping it up? Not ready to be done.
Yeah, no, we can keep going.
We could.
On the
It
topic
might be
of
audio only though.
on your birthday, do you want your gift?
Oh, do I? I don't know. Do I want it on video? I don't know if I do.
Should we wait for the camera to die?
That's actually a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna love it.
You'll find out what the gift is on the Patreon.
I've heard you talking about it, so.
Oh fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? You got me a girlfriend?
No, that's hard to find.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Hey, my day went really well.
Great.
Thanks.
I didn't want to ask about it on this.
Oh, it's fine. Why? It went really well.
Great.
Yeah.
Is there a second one lined up?
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
She watches
So-
this shit too, so she's probably gonna see it. So
Hi.
Friday, clear your shit up.
This comes out on Wednesday. It's not a lot of notice.
No, she already knew about it. It's fine. But yeah, no, it went well. That's why I was kind of on the topic. Just fishing for you guys
You
to ask
wanted
me.
I remember when it was like last week when Josh made a comment and he's like, I was waiting for you to say did this, and I was like, oh wow, really fishing. Okay.
Yeah, whoa.
On the topic of dates,
Cool shoes, Jake. Where'd you get them? All right, I'll tell you.
No, that's great. What did you guys do?
Oh, yes.
We just went for dinner.
Where'd you go?
SNL.
Where's that?
Steak and lobster
Oh,
in
okay,
White
okay,
Rock.
okay.
soup and lettuce.
Sounds
That's
perfect.
a whack combo. Thinking about that now.
Well, every time you say that restaurant's name, I'm gonna come up with a different set of words instead of steak and lobster.
Sharks and legumes.
Well, you're still on the same thing.
Oh yeah, it's still surfing, surf and turf.
Right?
But no, yeah, it was. I had to like bite the bullet, and because I hate first dates,
Did you meet there or go together?
I picked her up. I like
Okay.
insisted on it because I'm like,
That's
she's
pretty
like,
cool.
she's like, oh yeah, I can meet you, and I'm like, no. I was like, that's, I don't know. I was like,
Quick
I don't
comment.
like that. Okay,
Quick comment. Offering to pick her up is really, really kind of you and chivalrous, but you're also like really kind of limiting her exit if it's
No,
really
that-
not going well.
See, here's my thing.
Yeah, I guess.
On the note of being like open and frank, we addressed that. I'm like, I would prefer to pick you up just because that's like how I like to, I don't know.
My way or the highway.
The
Beach.
chivalrous thing to do. But I would completely understand if you want to meet me there. So you have an exit plan.
Sorry, I love how that, because that's super upfront and frank, and I like that approach. But it just reminds me of PC Principal from South Park, where he has his frat bros fill out a form when they have to go down on a girl. Okay, bros, I need a separate form if you perform this tonight. Anyways, this is good to hear. So you picked up,
Yeah, picked her up.
went for dinner.
Did the door thing. So I picked her up so I would have the opportunity.
It's
to
weird
do the
how they
door
notice that. You would notice that, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even when you do it now, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what a fucking treat.
thing. What did I do to deserve this?
And then usually I try to trip her or something.
That's constant.
Shut it on her ankle as she's getting in.
Oh no, that's abuse. But like I will push her into a hedge. She's been to Greenland so many times, and I've asked her, "Hey, you ever been to Greenland?"
I know it's coming, so just like tighten up and brace.
No way. Oh,
I stopped sending her to Poland and left bruises.
Jeez.
Oh,
Well, glad
dark.
it went well.
So the dinner went well. What
went
did
really
you eat?
well. What did I eat?
yeah,
had-
what do you like eat on a first date that's not too much? Because we did tacos.
Rule out sushi. You don't ever want to see someone with their mouth all the way open.
Or do you?
No, that doesn't do anyone
just
for
kidding.
anything.
All right, Rebecca, I know how your first date went. Chill out. Yeah, no, I had a beef dip.
That's a bold choice.
That
It
is
was
bold,
bold.
man, because
It
you were
was-
for sure wearing a white
It
T-shirt.
was bold. No, I wasn't. I did it on purpose.
Shut up.
I did it on purpose. I was like, I'm not wearing a white
Now, did
t-shirt.
she comment saying like, "Whoa, he's getting the dip"?
No, she, no.
That's what you would say if you were on a first date with me again, getting a beef dip, dating a dip.
See, I didn't know that
Okay.
term. I didn't know that term until she described it to me well into the relationship.
Now we overuse it.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, we never use that word
See, yeah,
Never.
I feel like
into a microphone.
anything with your hands is a bold first date
yeah.
food.
But no, and she had chicken, and it was good chicken.
Steak and
I had
lobster
some.
Was
and
it
had
the fried
chicken.
chicken?
No.
See, the fried
It was
chicken
the other
hurts
one.
my heart.
Yeah, no, it was the other word. You only get that so you can get the fixins.
Yeah,
Literally the only reason.
miss
you get
me
that
with
shit.
the actual entree, man. Just give me the mashed potatoes and the corn.
and the green corn. But no, it went well because my original plan, I was telling Keith this, because my original plan was SNL and then like something afterwards, or like SNL, dessert,
Drinks after or something.
and then like something afterwards. And I was like, oh, mini golf. And then the more time that passed, I'm like, fuck mini golf. Like, miss me with the mini golf. It's a little bit too cliche. It's also like way out of the way from like White Rock to Richmond. It was like quite the trek. Right before I ended up leaving, she's like, oh, should we do a happy hour? I'm like, that's a fucking great idea.
See?
It was a nice day.
I'm on that same wavelength. Yeah. Drinks.
She's like, let's do a happy hour. I'm like, okay. But I was like pretty set on like going to Marine Drive, like in White Rock, just because like the setting is really nice. There's always like shit to see.
So did you go to Charlie's or something?
Even though the pier is still fucked up. No, so we go down there. We did like 3 laps for parking. Couldn't find any fucking parking. And we ended up leaving, going back to SNL, like the original plan. Sat there for like 3 hours, just like chatting.
That was your happy hour and a little bit of dinner?
Yeah, it was no happy hour though. It was just, we just like didn't care at that point. We gave it a shot. We're like, fuck it, let's go back. And so we just sat there for like 3 hours, just like chatting. And then, yeah, we ended up going to somewhere else for a later happy hour.
Oh, wow. Long date.
Yeah, it was really long. And then
Really, it was really long.
I'd say that's a good sign.
Yeah, it was
It's just,
no, I was surprised. Like, I looked down when we were like, I was paying, and I look, and it was already like 10:45. I'm like, holy shit. Because I picked her up at probably like 6, just after 6.
so it's going well then.
I would say so far. I don't know. I'm not going to
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. But yeah, I don't know. I still hated the first date experience. Like, as a whole, the first date sucks. But she made it really, like, easy.
I think even
it's a two-way street.
The first date and the first few like weeks of even dating are just uncomfortable. I think it's like once
boundaries.
Once you get like comfortable with the person, that's like when it's easy, I think.
So shitting with the door open and stuff.
It never gets there, I think.
Nah, man. That's why, like, when we're gonna go house shopping, I need my own bathroom.
There needs to be 2 bathrooms.
Yeah, I just want my own, please.
You want your own bathroom in your own apartment with your own girlfriend.
Can we just get neighboring? Yeah, so you be in yours with your boyfriend, and you can be in yours with your girlfriend.
We'll just cheat on our spouses with each other. That's ideal.
What a diabolical scenario.
There's like both
5 years down the road
for money.
Yeah, you're just married. You're just fucking you're still with each other. You've got a sugar daddy and you've got a sugar mama. You're just bleeding them out for all the cash you can.
I mean, it's not a bad plan. Bye.
Oh, bye, video. See you later. Sorry, guys.
Birthday present?
You want to do that now? Fine.
Fine. You can shake this shit up.
Shake it up.
I'm so excited.
Was there a dog in there?
I had a really funny idea for
Is it too soon for you guys to think about getting a new dog?
I mean, my parents are.
Thinking about it already?
Should we leave it in the box or just give it to him?
No, I just give it to him in the. Okay, sure.
Do you want to give it to him?
Yeah, you have to close your eyes though.
Fuck.
So this is something we know you want.
A snake in a box is still a snake.
Can you give me one of your hands?
Oh, fuck.
There you go.
Oh no. I'm so glad the video's turned off.
Okay, now you can look.
The gift that keeps on giving. It hasn't given yet, but
nice.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with a dead rodent?
Do we say what it is?
Absolutely not.
Patreon viewers, maybe.
I'm gonna tape it to here for the next episode and see if anybody clues into what it is.
I think next episode.
It's really limp.
Well, Lyle's the next birthday.
Well,
isn't he?
what do you want it to be?
Really limp.
I think it's just supposed to simulate.
Well, just pet it a bit. Maybe it'll. I don't want to give any clues away. Let's get back. Let's take this to 40.
Thanks,
minutes.
Guys. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Happy birthday.
I mean, thanks, man.
He is risen.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Give it a whirl. Don't let me know how it goes. Tell someone else.
Yeah,
lightly used.
Not even lightly used.
Tested.
It's no.
Yeah.
That's about what you just did. Was about as much as ever been used.
I can deal with that.
Right on. But take it for a whirl. Anyways, let's take this 5, 6, 7 more minutes.
5, 6, 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did Rebecca get to do any of her topics?
I did one of them, but I've got another good one.
Whip them out.
Just dump them out.
Yeah.
Dump them out now that the camera's off. Just
Dump them out.
topics
Still hanging
everywhere.
out or talking to your ex. Like, what are the thoughts on that?
That
Like,
really depends on
in
like,
a new while in a new relationship or not.
Well, just in a relationship.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be new, because when you're new, you can't like put that boundary on like who that person talks to.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can anyways, but I feel like
I think it depends on the context.
just like general chats, like,
like-
hey, how's your day?
You don't really,
You don't need to, no, it doesn't matter.
I don't know, maybe that's just like not something you do regularly checking in. It's like if you were like a friend to this person and they maybe reach out to you, I think it's rude to shut them down just because, you
Feel like you shouldn't.
well, it's polite to give them at least a shred of your time.
100%.
I
I have a funny stance on this, but finish what you were saying.
I was just gonna say, like, you don't know what some people are dealing with, and if you can just like be just a human, just show humility and be like, oh yeah, well, things are going well, and maybe just help someone out. I don't know. I don't see an issue with just exchanging regular messages, but there's also another context. Like if you had been a long-term friend of someone, and you're just like, oh, blah blah blah, because like when you're friends with someone for a while, you're friends for a reason. Whether or not you had a physical relationship is what it is. And as adults, a lot of us can get past that, and you're kind of like you stop having eyes for someone when you have a really good relationship with someone else. You're just seeing how they're going because you know first and foremost they were your friend. Maybe I think differently than a lot of people.
I think that you do think differently than most, but it's a good way of thinking, I think.
That's kind.
Yeah, so
Jake's like, yeah, no.
well, no, he's got a good stance on it 100%. I've always been like a pretty firm believer on like your past is your past, and it's like luckily I've been blessed enough to I'm probably still friends with all my exes, and like if the opportunity arose I could still speak to them. I just don't. But I would say the most recent one is probably like there's certain ones where you're like something like was there, but then you know you're not together anymore, but it's like there was that time where that person is like your best friend. And it's pretty hard for like even if you guys break up, it's like that might not go away. It's like you might distance yourself and not talk, but it's like it's still probably always going to be there.
Yeah.
And it was for a while. In my case, in the last relationship, it was like we still hung out a lot after we broke up. We were still talking like almost daily, but it was just like talking to like a friend.
See, that's interesting because for me, with my other relationship that was so long, like not friends at all. There's no friendship there at all. Like couldn't be more hated.
Yeah, it depends how
Just
it
like-
ends, right? If it ends shitty,
I
then you're
mean,
not
yeah,
gonna have to-
the whole thing was just kind of messy, but still for someone who's in your life for that long, like you guys have such an interesting outlook on that because like not friends at all. But
yeah, I mean, girls could definitely have a different angle on it. Like I don't know the mindset of my exes, right? I know my mindset, but like they could have a different thought. But you know, you never. And in the case of my last one, it's like I don't know if I would be okay if I entered a new relationship. Not like I would ever cross any boundaries, and like that's probably where I would be like pretty rationally just be like I'm not gonna go for drinks with you. Like I have a girlfriend. Just as like this disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I could never be with a girl who outright said you're not allowed to, like you can't talk to any of your exes. I'm like fuck you. Like first of all, I knew them first, and like they're like this one in particular is like my friend, like a good friend of mine. So fuck you. Like I'm gonna talk. That's not an adult relationship to me. And that might just because my parents is a weird one.
Yeah, and that
My
I
parents
don't wanna
have a
bring
funny
that up,
dynamic.
but like even if you weren't in the picture, that you never had a kid,
Yeah.
they still would be homies. I guarantee it.
Yeah. It's all just like longevity of and yeah, you just don't know people's situations. But like, yeah, in my parents' case, it's like, hey, they have me, they own a business together and like live in the same vicinity in the same town or whatever.
They keep it professional, like on all levels.
Yeah.
It's a good model, I think, for how you should.
Do I think do I agree with the fact that it might be tough for the newer spouse or person in the relationship? Yeah, probably. But again, it comes down to that trust. If you trust the person to like, that's where it's going to stay as like this, just friends, then there shouldn't be a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, if a girlfriend of mine had an ex, and most of them have, like my ex-girlfriend, 2 of her ex-boyfriends were like very still like around.
Interesting.
But you never thought in a threatening way?
No. I thought it was weird.
Yeah.
But I was never like threatened by the fact that like, I wonder where she's at right now. And like what, you know. And that there was a point where he had asked her, like while we were together, he asked her, he's like, I have to go to this thing. And he has like wicked social anxiety. He's like, I have to go to this like party thing. Would Jake be okay if you came with me? And so she asked me, I was like, I can deal with that. But, and because he like
really
asked me,
respectful.
and
Big
like
vibe.
she asked me, I'm like, yeah, I was like, if you want to go, you want to go. I'm not going to, I was like, especially if it's like some sort of mental thing, like something like social anxiety. I'm like, that's,
he's like, I just want some arm candy, bro.
I feel like you guys are like such anomalies. Like, if I were having this conversation with
because we didn't go to university. We didn't go to college.
You did.
Yeah, but we didn't like do the university experience, you know, the whole living on campus and getting into that.
I wonder
energy.
if we would have been frats if we went to.
You definitely know. I think
you
you
fucking
maybe.
you believe in Greek shit? No.
What do you mean? Do I believe?
He believes
in
in
shit?
sorority girls. That's it.
I like sororities, yeah. But yeah, that's my stance on being friends with your ex. I'm in short terms, I'm fine with it.
Noted.
I would hope nobody disrupts my friendship with any exes that I have, and I would probably have the same respect for a girlfriend.
Let's let Rebecca bring home her own topic. Are you friends with any of your exes?
No. I don't know why. No one likes me.
Well, maybe that's just like their energy, right? They are just that kind of person.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like friends with any of my exes.
Could you be cordial in a social setting?
Like now we kind of are, because before it was not good.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were lots of issues between his friend group and my friend group. But I think now that we're getting older, he's got like younger siblings.
Right.
So we kind of like talk about how his siblings are
Impressionable.
getting older.
Oh.
Like one of his brothers is driving and he was in a car seat when we started dating.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, whoa, that's
yeah,
weird.
there's like parts of life.
But other than that, like there's nothing to connect on.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no friendship. It's just like talking about family, really, and that's it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would think that's totally fine. Like in my opinion, that's totally fine. I would never have anything against it. Because there's always memories with a certain person that you can't take away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and those young siblings would imprint on you.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that happens. That seems to happen a lot. Like if a significant other has siblings and they end up growing up, you're like, you were part of that younger sibling's life still.
Mm.
So it's like, that's probably has a lot more weight on them than it would on you.
Well, yeah, and
But,
like some of his siblings
especially
were
someone
like
who's
babies
around
when
for like
we
a
started
while.
dating. Yeah. So
Yeah. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
yeah, it was a long one.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming out. See you next month.
Nah, hopefully it'll be sooner. I like doing these.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope to be on again.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of JK's Just a Podcast. We sure hope you enjoyed it. If you like what we do and support the podcast, please donate to the Patreon for exclusive bonus content at patreon.com/justapodcast or hit the link in the description of this video. You can also listen to the episodes on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. And don't forget to leave that 5-star review. It is greatly appreciated and helps us out a ton. Follow us on Twitter at JK_justapodcast and Instagram at JK is just a podcast. Until next week, take care, everybody. Peace out.